Hello, thank you for tuning in to Storytime with Uncle Scotty. I am your host, Uncle Scotty. We have our own mug. Very special that you decided to share your time with me. Always, time is back in time, just in time. We have been reading The Buried Bones Mystery, and before we get to that, I wanted to give a shout out to one of our wonderful Storytimers, listeners, watchers, readers, supporters, Beatrix. Beatrix, thank you for watching. Thank you for continuing to watch. Hope everything is good with you in Atlanta, and I hope you're enjoying the story. And speaking of this story, all of our Black Dinosaurs, Rico, Jerome, Rashawn, Ziggy, are out collecting clues to find out the mystery of the Buried Bones Mystery, which is the book that we are reading right now, written by Sharon M. Draper, a Coretta Scott King award-winning author. And Rashawn got some clues about what might be happening from his dad, who's a police officer, who's checking out who cut down the basketball courts. Jerome got some clues from his grandmother, who conveniently, oddly, coincidentally, lived in the same house that Ziggy lives in now, which is the same house where they have their clubhouse. And he found out that there used to be a graveyard back there. And so they have a box of bones that they found. So it's curious. I don't know what's happening. And now he and Rico just got back from the library where they got some books on bones. Books on bones, alliteration. Let's see what happens next. Chapter 8. They were almost home. Rico's mom turned the corner to their street and then slowed the car. "What in the world is that?" she asked in amazement. There seemed to be a two-headed man walking down the sidewalk. Rico and Jerome looked out and burst into laughter. "That's Ziggy, Mom," said Rico. Ziggy was walking on his hands with his feet straight up in the air. On each foot he had placed a baseball cap, so that from a distance he looked like a man with two heads walking down the street. Ziggy's a trip. Can you let us out here, Mom?" asked Rico. "We need to talk to Ziggy. Besides, maybe we can turn him around." She laughed, shook her head at Ziggy's silliness, and told Rico to be home by summertime. And here we see Rico walking down the street on his hands with the baseball caps on his feet. Now, the cap on the left says FBI, because Ziggy wants to be an agent in the FBI. And on the right looks like a baseball cap, because it literally has a picture of a baseball on it. "Hey Ziggy, what's up?" asked Jerome. "Not me, Mon. How do you like my disguise?" "It's great if we ever needed a two-headed man," Rico replied with a grin. Ziggy giggled, lost his balance, and tumbled into a cheerful heap on the grass, knocking Rico down as he fell. Jerome jumped in, and the three of them tussled and wrestled until they heard Africa barking as Rashawn crossed the street and headed towards them. "What's happening, dudes?" "Not much now, Mon, but I got clues to report," said Ziggy. "Just wait till you hear." "Me too," said Rashawn and Rico in unison. "And my granny told me some stuff that will fry your brain," said Jerome. "I think we need an emergency meeting of the Black Dinosaurs," said Rashawn. "I'll race you." The four of them ran down the street, Africa barking and darting among them, almost knocking them down. Ziggy started yelling simply because he liked the sound of his own voice, "Like me," and because he was in front. The others followed closely behind. Ziggy got to the clubhouse first, touched the door, and said, "The password is Tuskegee! I remembered!" "We gotta change the password," Rico told the others. "It's no fun if Ziggy can remember it." Each boy touched the black dinosaur that was hanging above their heads and found a seat. "Well, men," began Rashawn, "let's get started. Let me tell you what I discovered." He told them about the police investigation and the strange message that said, "Them bones are gonna rise again," and how old Mr. Green had rented the chainsaw that destroyed their basketball court. Oh my gosh, I just realized this. Rashawn's dad said that Mr. Green had rented the chainsaw, the same chainsaw that was used to cut down the basketball court. Mr. Green is the person that Jerome and Rico ran into at the library, who had all the curious books. Wow. How old Mr. Green had rented the chainsaw that destroyed their basketball court. "Mr. Green?" said Rico in amazement. "Just like me, just then. We saw him at the library. He was checking out books on graveyards." Jerome gasped. Then he told them about the covered-up graveyard and the stories of boxes of bones that had frightened even his grandmother. Rico opened the library book on human bones. The pictures confirmed that what they had found was possibly one of the rumored boxes of bones. It was so quiet in the clubhouse that the boys could hear their own breathing. Ziggy finally broke the silence. Very good spy work, gentlemen. But wait till you hear what the greatest spy that ever worked for the FBI has discovered, man. He took a deep breath and began. Last night, about midnight, I couldn't sleep, so I got up to get a drink of water. I looked out the back window and I thought I saw something. It looked like someone or something was out there by our clubhouse, so I decided to check it out. In the middle of the night? By yourself? In the dark? Would you have still gone if you had known about the graveyard? Asked Jerome. No way, man. Ziggy is brave, but he's not stupid. Anyway, the moonlight was bright, so I tiptoed out. No one saw me. No one heard me. I was slick. What did you find? A rabbit? A squirrel? Rico asked, his eyes wide. No, man. I saw old Mr. Green with a flashlight and a stick, walking where the fence used to be, singing to himself. When he saw our clubhouse, he stopped and stared for a long time, but he didn't touch it. Finally, he cut through to his yard and went home. Oh my gosh! Do you think it's got something to do with the box of bones? Asked Rashawn. And since he was the one who rented the chainsaw, maybe there's a connection to what happened on the basketball court. Could be, man, because you know what he was saying over and over again? Asked Ziggy with mystery in his voice. What? Tell us, they all begged him. Ziggy loved being dramatic. He sang in a soft, scary voice. I know it. Nope, that's not a soft, scary voice. I know it. Nope, that's not a soft, scary voice. I know it. Indeed, I know it, brother. I know it. Yeah, them bones gonna rise again. Rico covered his mouth with his hands. Jerome's eyes opened wide. And Rashawn just about fell off his chair. Ziggy couldn't help laughing, even though he too was really scared. So what do we do now? Asked Jerome. We gotta see what Mr. Green is up to, replied Rico. So how are we gonna do that? Stay up all night? Replied Rashawn. That's it, man! Shouted Ziggy. Let's sleep out tonight, right here in the clubhouse. We'll tell our parents that we want to have a camp out, which is true. They don't have to know that we're in the middle of solving a case. Let's do it, Rico said eagerly. Everybody bring food, a flashlight, and a sleeping bag. Be here at 9 o'clock. It will be just about dark. What about bugs? Asked Jerome. Shout out to Jerome. That's my concern. What about bugs? Don't more of them come out at night? So bring bug spray, replied Rashawn. I'm more scared of ghosts than bugs. At the mention of ghosts, they all looked at one another. No one backed out. Tonight at dark, said Rico softly. The password will be Nairobi. And we will find out what happens next. Oh my gosh, everything is building up. What's happening? Who is Mr. Green? What's Mr. Green doing? What's up in the backyard? I don't know. We'll find out. I have been your host for Storytime with Uncle Scotty. Uncle Scotty, we have our mouse. We'll be back tomorrow with another story. Okay. Same story, another chapter. Okay. Bye.